Divine Connection Marketing is a 500 Fortune company that can always connect you to the right connection. Check them out.
Businesses all across the planet are looking to make connections with people. Well, guess what? Divine Connections magazine is helping businesses not only walk in their purpose and passions, but to get connected to their potential. That's right. You've got to connect to your potential, and you can make it happen now because it is time to know your worth. As you get connected to people all across the planet, Divine Connections magazine will make it happen. And get featured in the magazine today and get your copy now, because there's no other time than a divine time to get connected to Divine Connections magazine.
Great day, everyone. Welcome. Hope you are making it happen and hoping you are making an impact with your community. We have great guests that's going to be on today, so make sure you like and share this broadcast. We're going to have great information. Meanwhile, let me tell you a little bit about Divine Connections magazine. It's a magazine that's faith-based and inspirational. It comes out quarterly in print as well as online. We connect with different businesses, entrepreneurs, gospel artists, praise dance moms, vendors, and anything that's going on in the community that is positive. And so if you would like to be a part of the next Divine Connections magazine, you have the opportunity to share your business or your ministry, either a half page or full page ad and advertisement, and your ad will run for 3 months. Okay, so we are excited about always meeting and connecting with the community and meeting and making new connections. All right, so how do we stay connected with Divine Connections? Go to our website and join our email list at divineconnectionsmagazine.com and get the updated news and what's going on. We're also on Facebook at Divine Connections Marketing, so make sure you like that page. We're also on Instagram, so follow us there at Divine Connections. That's one word. And we are on YouTube. We have a YouTube channel, so subscribe there at The Divine Connections, and make sure you click that notification button so you can be notified whenever we are on and making it happen. Also, if you have not got your issue of Divine Connections magazine, it is here. We had over 60 advertisers this quarter in this magazine, and also celebrating my 12th magazine anniversary, where we had gospel artists, praise dance, moms, speakers, and we made networking major big. And then we also had connections, and we had dynamic speakers, all right, talking about different things that's going on in life. And so we had a phenomenal celebration. We had groups coming in from South Carolina ministering the gospel as well. And so they are all in here, all of the connections. And we also have big events that's coming on. Reverend Michael Boykin, they're having big events that's going to be in Durham as well as Clinton at the end of August and the beginning of May. So you want to make sure that you get a copy of Divine Connections magazine so you can get connected, maybe come to out some of the events, maybe vent at some of the events, and get some resources and services and products as well. So you can go to divineconnectionsmagazine.com/subscriptions. We also do digital as well as hard copies. Okay, so make sure you get your copy there. Yeah, also, what we do here is we're here on Wednesdays between the hours of 3 p.m. and 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we share with you different ministries, different businesses, different pastors, different services, different products. And before, after the interviews, we have 30-second spots. So if you would like to be a sponsor and share your business or your ministry with the masses as we continue to meet new people and make connections, we have a spot for you. We do a 3-month agreement. You have a 30-second spot, and we'll run it before or after the interviews on Wednesdays. And that's only $150. And the more people see you, the more people know, the more they'll know that what resources are available, and when they're ready, they'll connect with you. So if you want to be a sponsor for the show, that will be greatly appreciated. And if you like, it's only you have a 30-second spot, and you'll be on before or after the show. Okay, so if you're interested, email Divine Connections Magazine gmail.com. Also, if you need a 30-second or 60-second commercial for your business, for your book, for your ministry, for your gospel group, or an event, we would love to serve you. That is one of the services we provide as well. Next on our agenda, if you have not got your copy of my book, The Key Connector, How to Make It Happen, How to Build an Empire Helping People. God has allowed me to write this book as well as give nuggets and strategies on how to build an empire. So you can take nuggets, you can learn from it. You can see how I build what my empire thus far, and it's continuing to grow. So, of course, with faith, and having faith in God and putting your ideals and your thoughts together, moving forward and making it happen. Of course, putting God first, you can make all things happen. So go get your copy of my book. It's called The Key Connector, How to Build an Empire Helping People. All right. And it is on Amazon as well, or you can go to the link below to purchase your copy, and I'll send you a signed copy as well. And also, I have been blessed to be nominated in 2 different organizations currently right now. One is for the Best Magazine of the Year, and that is with the company of SM Gospel Awards. And they are in North Carolina as well. It's unlimited vote until May 20th. So you have to vote in every category in order for the vote to count. And then you can vote as many times as you want to. And you're voting up until May 20th. So the category that I'm in is Best Magazine of the Year, and that is Divine Connections Magazine. I would love to have your vote. So continue to vote out there as well. And there is another organization and message I received this week as well that I am nominated in, and that is the Year of the Black Entrepreneur, and I am in the category of the Community Impactor of the Year. All right, so there are only 6 categories. It's really short. Just go in and vote. The link is below, and I will also put it in the comments as well. And that voting has started today as well. It's going to end April 17th. So they're going to do it really fast. I'm getting in and voting unlimited. Try to vote every day if you can. Again, that category is Community Impactor of the Year, and that is vote for Deloris Williams. So I'll greatly appreciate that. And then we have one more thing. God has allowed us to be here, which is a blessing for 2022. And I have also created a journal called Make It Happen. You are a divine connection. So as you go throughout this year and you have your goals and your desires, make sure you get a copy of the journal, write your vision down, write your goals down, put a plan together. And as the journey continues, make sure you write and take notes and then look back at what God has done. All right. So I am grateful for what God has given me to share with you. And so we're just going to make it happen. And so I'm excited about what God is doing. So these are our announcements, and I am definitely excited about what is about to come up. First, let me share with you a short video and introduction of our guest. So hold tight. Awesome. So let's bring our guest in. A great day, Tori and Teri. How are you?
Hi there. Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
Oh, you are very welcome. You guys are doing some great things in the community, much needed for sure, dealing with life, relationships, people. So let's first introduce yourselves and tell us where you're from.
Okay. First of all, I just want to thank you for inviting us on this show. We're really honored. Also, congratulations to your accolades and all
thank
that,
you.
That are coming up. So yeah, just a little bit about us. We're Tori and Teri. We are happily married, 6 children, 6 grandchildren.
Ooh,
We also we have a dual purpose here. We are marriage and relationship counselors by day and media personalities by night. We say.
awesome.
Yeah.
So yes, and that's where we're from. I'm originally from California. We are here in Houston, Texas. That's where we have our private practice.
Awesome. Well, tell us how this got started. It's definitely much needed, but what initiated you all doing working with couples and families? Give us that story.
I've been in behavioral health over 20 years. I worked with teens and youth. I had my own organization, and then it was just it's the field I've been in my whole life, that and education. And so with my husband and I getting together, we have a purpose for God's people,
That's
purpose
right.
and passion for God's people, and we had also experienced a lot, so we learned a lot. So we wanted to spread the good news.
Yeah, and besides that, it's been all God.
All
All God, because we were in a position where we literally just want to do marriage counseling at a church, marriage ministry, and God has taken us where we are now.
Oh yeah, he had way bigger plans,
Way does, right?
We accomplished ours in the first year. Like,
wow.
Oh yeah, we do. Yeah. So he's just taken everything. He's given us, disseminated the information, the instruction, the divine appointments. He's provided it all, and then he's just guided us to where we go. I mean, there's different people that have been placed in our path, and it just takes us to the next, project.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it's all, it's mental health, and it's helping couples, just find their purpose together as one, to win as one.
Yeah, so let's talk a little bit about mental health and how important that is with individuals, and then how important that is in relationships.
Very important. And I kind of want to preface this with the fact that my wife and I were talking about this earlier today. It's like mental health, especially in our community right now, as we speak, is almost like a fad. Right? And it's becoming a little
hip to get counseling now.
Exactly.
Right.
And we've always known that mental health was important to, not just married couples, but everyone. There's so many things that we've gone through as people. There's so many things that even as individuals that we go through childhood and into our relationships and things.
Right.
Even life. I mean, there's grief counseling.
Yeah.
There's different stages for different reasons.
Yeah. And a lot of us have never had counseling or therapy on any of this. And, by the time we see people are damaged and they're hurting and all. And when we start delving into their past, we try to treat issues from where they stem from.
That's right.
And work from there. Because, we find a lot of, at least our counselees, they're fighting each other instead of fighting the issues.
That's right.
That coupled with the fact that, mental health it's a safe space for anyone to be. Because, you want to have your self-care. You want to have your soul care. You want to be able to, to know how your body operates, how your mind operates, how all of that is works in synergy with each other. And, a lot of people just don't do that. And then a lot of people still go by the old fallacies or the stereotype, Black people don't do counseling. Over 90% of our clients are Black. So somebody.
Yeah. I know, just, life as in itself, brings on just stress, different things you're going on. So when people are doing different things, like what behavior should you look at as far as change? Like when you have children and you see kind of like their behavior changing, or even a friendship, what do you kind of look at when you know something is different about that individual?
Are you talking about as as therapists, or are you just talking about for those at home that may be experiencing this and what would be like a flag, a red flag?
Right, exactly.
Okay. Yeah, for red flags, I mean, definitely with children, there's so many. I mean, we're talking about different stages of life, wetting the bed. I mean, it depends on where you want to start with this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, wetting the bed well after being potty trained in school age, then that's something to look at. When you have adolescence, there's something to look at that. But that's where your pediatricians come into play. You want to have conversations with your pediatrician about different things you're noticing, because they'll be able to help you first, and they'll be able to tell you if it's a behavioral thing, or
Right.
it's a disorder. You know, I mean, there's different, you know, there's different diagnoses, obviously, as far as assessing. But you want to pay attention to that. And then you were saying with friends, depending on what your friend has incurred, if it's a loss, if it's, you know, if it's a death, if it's a breakup, if it's a loss of employment. I mean, there's so many factors that, you know, people incur and have to manage as they live life. There's different stages of life. Yeah. And so I think that just being a good friend and being there and offering to help, and even just, you know, to state, hey, I'm not clinically trained, but I've noticed this. How can I help? Even can I pray with you? You know, is there, you know, do you want to talk about it? And I think from there, that'll start to open the door in the direction that you know, should go.
Yeah. And if I may add, as a parent, some of the things you want to look for in your own children, obviously changes in their behavior, the way that they're dressing. Also was very important, also the type of music that they're listening to, right? Because if they've changed the genre of music and they're listening to things that are more black, so to speak, as in, you know,
dark,
something dark, yeah, you know, that can indicate or signal a change. Also, be aware if you know, if they're becoming a recluse, you know, if they are outgoing, then all of a sudden, you know, now they're wanting to stay in their bedroom and things. So, you know, they could be being bullied. Yeah, sleep, you know, just like adults, kids have depression. They go through depressive as well.
And chemical dependencies, as well as their chemical balance could be off. You know, so all of these things. Of course, if you have a young lady and she's, you know, now going to see her OBGYN, I mean, all of this stuff you always want to check with your medical provider, your people first. But, I mean, you know, slipping of grades and things like that. Be present in your child's life. Be very present so that they can be open to talking with you about what they're going through. Start early with being present.
Yeah, and definitely watch for bruises and cuts on their bodies. You know, a lot of people, they have a lot of internal pain, and they try to release it by cutting themselves. Right. So that's something that that every parent should be aware of as well. And the person that's doing the cutting, they're unwittingly knowing that what they're trying to do is what we call pain on pain therapy, which it doesn't work, first of all. But there has to be a release, and they feel that, you know, if they cut themselves, that they're releasing that whatever it is that they're internalizing.
You know, also too, depending on the demographic, certain things. I mean, our people are not one to cut as much as other, you know, cultures. But there are other suppressions such as alcohol. You know, there's other things that, you know, and even as it relates to sexuality, kids are experimenting much earlier now. They're way earlier than they did back in the day. And so there may be kids that are, you know, claiming to be having a certain sexual orientation that, you know, that they didn't have before. Maybe now there's the discovery. So there's, I mean, when I say there's a gamut, it's very wide. And then, of course, we cannot forget, which was one of the most important, and that is domestic violence. And that is not always just, you know, that's not always fist, that's not always, you know, physical abuse, but there's also emotional and mental abuse.
Awesome. So, okay, we talked about youth, we talked about family. So now let's talk a little bit about marriage couples and how the benefits of therapy with that, or maybe not letting things get to the point where they're stressed out and they kind of, amp out, just having therapy or, some kind of session where they can talk and communicate before it gets to that point. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, that's why we strongly encourage premarital counseling. I mean, so many people, they put so much money into the wedding and not the actual marriage. The marriage is what you want to highlight when it comes to really the investment. So you want to get your premarital counseling, and that's something that we strongly urge. Yeah. But of course, everybody doesn't do that, and so then they do come see us. And go ahead, honey.
Yeah, just from a man's perspective, we get a lot of men that say that they don't have anyone to talk to. Right? They can't. They want to be able to share their feelings, but one, they don't know how because they were never taught. But two, when the rubber meets the road and they really need help, and when they come to see us or any other therapist, it's important that they're heard. Yeah. And a lot of men feel that they aren't being heard. That they want to be vulnerable, but they're scared. They're scared of the emotional part of it, and how it's going to make them look, and if they're less of a man and things of that nature. And it's just, I'm just here to tell those guys that are listening, it's not true. I mean, we all need people to talk to. I mean, I kind of joke around when I say this, but at any given time, it's about 7 to 8 billion people on this planet, and God didn't put all of us here to be in silos. Right. And in Scripture it says He's given us many gifts and talents. So, there's gifted and talented people that are able to help other people, such as ourselves, such as what your platform does.
It's interesting because with men, with what my husband's talking about, when they come in, they're the first ones on the consultation to be like, I'm looking forward to it, because we create a safe place for everyone. We don't judge at all. I mean, we've heard it all, We don't judge. We're really here to help. And that's our passion. That's our purpose, to really see them, to better health. And so once the guy comes on, I mean, the women are usually like, I have never heard him talk this much before in my life. They really open up, which is really, I mean, that's music to our ears, because that means that we are definitely being effective, that we can draw, the truth out and just have them do it in a safe space.
Yeah, we're doing virtual counseling now, but when we first started, we were doing face-to-face counseling. They would come, to our office. And it was so funny because quite a few times we would see the woman looking at their husband like this, like, and we're like, what's going on? What's the joke here or something? And it's so funny because they would always say the same thing. I've never heard him talk this much, right? Or I've never heard him express himself. And just a caveat on that. When my wife was saying, when the guys, when during our consult, when they're like, okay, I'm looking forward to this. On the flip side of that, when we get women that contact us all the time, right? It seems like women just are more in tune with their mental health needs and things. But when a guy
asking for help,
when a guy contacts us, it's dire straits. His wife or his girlfriend, they've already left, or they checked out of the building, or they were given an ultimatum that they had to have counseling or whatever. So when a guy contacts us, we know it's serious. Right? And
he's like, help me fix this.
Exactly.
Let me get her back.
Exactly. So, and I know we're going a long way around to answer you.
No, it's good. This is good.
It's definitely counseling of any form, whether it's premarital, whether it's marital, whether it's relationship, or even maintenance. Like you take your car in to get even if nothing's wrong
preventative.
with it. Preventative. And one of the biggest challenges that I'm not even going to say most couples, one of the biggest challenges that all couples face is communication.
Yes.
If we knew how, and it's not just speaking to each other, it's knowing your audience, right? Everybody receives information differently. Everybody processes information differently.
Their filter, you have to know their filter.
So people talk to each other in what whatever they have going on in their lives or their background and things, people normally talk to people from that perspective. But they do know how to switch it up if they're at work or or in another setting. But at home, people normally don't do that. They talk to each other any kind of way or the way that they were brought up on. And once we start counseling them and teach them conflict resolution and how to actually, do or have effective communication amongst them, it gets easier. It's like the light bulb goes on.
Yeah.
And in addition to communication, we hear, well, we're not on the same page, or we seem to think differently. Well, you do, because you can't communicate properly.
Yeah, and a lot of that has to do with your masculine and your feminine energy. You've got a lot of women that are giving out a lot of masculine energy, because a lot of them, especially for those that necessarily did not have that father figure, father, mother. And you hear a woman say, a single woman will say, when she's raising children, I had to be the father and the mother, where you never hear a man say that. Ever. And that's that masculine energy that women come with. And so when they're approaching their man with that, and then depending on how he was raised, and even knowing his, and this is in any, sexual relationship, even in other ones. You have one playing one role and one playing the other. I mean, it's just the makeup, right? Because we have testosterone and, hormones within both of our bodies. But that is where you have I think that's where a lot of the disconnect comes in, is women were not taught how to just be feminine with their man and let him be the man that he is. And a lot of men they don't know either, because some men are just receivers and they don't have that masculine energy. They have a little bit of that feminine energy by being receivers, because the masculine man will allow his wife or his woman to be the lady.
That's
he wants to provide. So a lot of women are, I'm independent and I'm not looking for that. That's that feminine energy. So it's interesting. And that's where the dynamic, once you get them to start to be, to melt into one another and get into a rhythm and a flow of how to love one another through their love languages, then that's when you can start to highlight the traits that match up and that work.
And for men also, we're like totally confused. Because as little boys, as teenagers, and all, we're always taught not to show emotion, be strong, tough it out. You better not cry or whatever, or don't want to hear about your personal stuff. I mean, so all this stuff goes on as you're being brought up, and then as soon as you get into a relationship, tell me about your feelings. Tell me what's on your mind. Be vulnerable with me. How come you don't talk to me? How come you don't share your emotions? And it's like,
what do we do?
What do we do?
What happened? How
we were taught this, and then all of a sudden now your woman is telling you this, and it's like, okay, what do I do? So a lot of guys are just genuinely confused as to what to do in that situation.
How to manage it.
Yeah.
So, and switch it up depending on where you are, from the workplace to home to
So they shut down, or go ahead.
So what is it that you all share with them to allow them to express themselves? What is like the nugget that allows them to open the door when they come to counseling with you all to just start talking about their true feelings and how they feel about things?
You just said that's the word, truth.
Truth moments.
Truth moments. Where they're able to hear. There's a lot of talking going on, but are you listening? Are you effectively listening?
Active listening.
To be able to receive what your partner's saying.
Yeah. So we have
empathy. You got to put the empathy.
Yeah, we have a tool that we utilize that we didn't necessarily create it. We've modified it and tweaked it and all. But at any given time, we tell them, hey, call a truth moment. Because so many people saying, oh, he doesn't hear me, or, he just disregards what I say. So part of that is people just want someone to validate what it is they're saying. They don't have to be right or wrong. They just want to know that someone is listening.
Right.
And if your spouse isn't listening, that's the closest person on earth to you. So if they're not listening to you, it's like, if you happen to go somewhere else where somebody is like bending an ear, we get that a lot. It's like, well, how come you stepped out? Well, he or she wasn't listening to me, so they were, right?
Or even discussing your business with family members, because you're not downloading or being able to speak to them. And so, with that being said, we create a space for them to be able to talk. My old pastor would say that he would pull into the driveway on two wheels. He couldn't wait to get home. And that's what we are teaching our clients as far as your home is your sanctuary. That is where you are celebrated. Everyone there loves you. Just like Cheers, everyone knows your name. It's the same thing with going home. And so that should be something that is for your tribe, for your castle, with your king and your queen, and even with your prince and your princesses in your home. That's what, from your children down to you, everyone should feel that way when they get home. This is where I'm celebrated. This is where I'm heard. This is where, I'm validated. Basically, this is my safe place. I can shut out the world here because I'm here. I'm understood. And so creating that environment, we help them with the truth moments to have a safe place. And with those truth moments, they cannot argue or anything. They have to merely listen. It's not even for a rebuttal. Just listen. Receive.
Right.
Knowledge is power.
I love it.
It's effective when helping someone. If I'm going to listen to you, if I want to help you, if I'm really genuine, I want to hear from you.
That's right. Awesome. I love it. I'll put some information out for those that listen that will see this. So we have two different things. We have the counseling service. So I'll put that information. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. With our counseling, we provide family, relationship, and marital counseling, but we also do individual counseling. My wife, and I'll let her tell you about it, but with me, I counsel men from different areas of their lives. And sometimes it's individual, sometimes it's in conjunction with the couples counseling that we provide.
Yes, and then my program is Hello Lovely. I work with the women. Self-esteem, wife life. There's a lot of women that are wives that never knew how to be a wife, that never saw models before them. So helping women with that. And just your purpose and loving yourself as a wonderfully made, beautiful woman of God, a gift. And knowing that and operating in that, especially for those that are looking for love.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, and I think one of the good things about, and a lot of counselors do this, but we offer a free 15-minute consultation because we do get a lot of people that, one wants to do it and the others maybe they don't want to do it, not just because they don't want to do it, but because
they don't know what
they're jumping into.
Right.
So we use that as an opportunity to let them kind of voice what their challenges are, and then we allow them to ask questions of us, and then we schedule from there.
Yeah, it's a little meet and greet over the phone. Yeah, just to break the ice.
Awesome. And then we have another connection, the Love in Black. Talk about that.
So that's the media side of us. That's us. We are radio personalities right now. We're on 92.1 FM in Houston.
Praise 92.1. So praise Houston.
Yeah, and
Radio One family.
Yeah, so we do a relationship talk show, and we receive letters on topics from our audience members, and we answer them on air. We also interview, couples, individuals, celebrities, business owners, whomever, and
events, speaking events.
Yeah, so we tie all of that into relationships and marriage, and then we receive letters, so we answer a letter on the show, and kind of we give it from a clinical perspective, and then we let our guests chime in on it. But then my wife was just mentioning about other activities that we do.
Red carpet, our
speaking
shows.
Engagements.
Yeah, our shows are on Spotify, Apple, iHeart, FeedSpot. We're on so many platforms.
Yeah. We are number 3 in the nation on FeedSpot for Black relationship talk show.
That is awesome. So tell me again when your shows come on so people can tune in.
Our shows come on Saturday mornings at 10:30 a.m. Central
Okay.
Standard. And even if you're not in the Houston area, you can go to your app store on your phone and you can get the Houston Praise app. It's either
Houston.
Praise Houston or Houston Praise, either one. It'll come up. And you can listen in 10:30 Central Standard. Also, our shows are on the
YouTube.
platforms that my wife mentioned, but we're also, if you go to youtube.com/Love and Black with Tori and Teri, you can catch our shows there as well.
We're also IG, Love and Black with Tori and Teri. You see it right here on the screen. You got your Love and Black with Tori and Teri. You take that to any of the social media handles, then okay, go.
Awesome. I love it. That all of this is great information and definitely much needed. Because you see so many things going on, and having someone to talk to could just make this world a better place. But you have to talk to the right people,
Yeah.
And that's for sure. So what you do is definitely needed as well. So let's end with some encouraging words.
Well, one of the things I always say at the end of our show is very simple, and I'm from California, so it's fitting, and that is make love, not war. And that's everybody. That's not just relationships. That's all relationships. Parent, child, siblings, everybody. Make love, not war.
I like that.
And I guess for me, I have so many, but one of the ones that I want to get across is marriage is easy, but we make it hard. We don't want to communicate. We don't want to be vulnerable with each other. We want to do what we want to do. And what you have to do is keep in mind is that you didn't get married for that. You got married to be as one. You got married to share things, experience different things. Keep that in perspective when you and your spouse aren't getting along.
I will say one thing. I think that's really also a key piece, and that is for couples to find something that you can do together, whether it's gardening, whether it's changing out a room because Jimmy went away to school. I mean, have something that you're united.
That's
that there's a project. Those things bring you together, and they remind you of why you came together in the first place and how powerful you can be together. Such as this, the empire. I mean, have that united front that you go forward in the world together.
Awesome. Is there anything else you guys have coming up you want to share?
Our show weekly. Yeah. It comes on weekly, so we're always planning for that.
Yeah, we do have a lot of events and things that are coming up.
We have to ask our manager.
Yeah.
You don't know off the top of our head.
But you guys go, we'll start updating our loveandblackvictorianteri.com webpage with new information very shortly here.
Awesome. This was amazing. I love it. So many things, so many nuggets, so needed. Oh my goodness, in so many areas. So thank you for doing what you do in the community. That definitely helps the world to be a better place once you find out who you are, loving on you, and then then it's easier to love on family, work, church, business, life, and have a happy space or joyful space, in the earth, and continue to live life, because your mind is, so many things go on. Life has its own situations, and so I enjoy what I've heard today because it's definitely much needed. So thank you
for having us. We appreciate you.
You are very welcome, and I hope to have you back again, maybe a little later on as well. So thank you for coming on. Hold tight. Any other things we want to say before we leave?
Thank you for tuning in. God bless you.
Yeah, actually, you know what? If I could just say one thing, you just said something that was really kind of poignant in the sense that about loving yourself. Right? If you don't love yourself, it's impossible to love others, right? So yes, get your self-love, get your self-care, get your soul care in order. And if you're a happy person, the world around you would be a lot happier as well.
Absolutely. 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 I love it. I love it. All right. So you guys, make sure you guys tune in to the TV show, to the radio station, and events they have coming up as well. Love in Black. Go to YouTube. I would subscribe today if I hadn't already. With Tori and Teri, they have great information. And if you need counseling, don't be afraid. It makes you better. It makes family better. It makes life better. And that's what it's supposed to do. You know, just live life to the fullest and enjoy life while God has allowed us to be here.
Amen. It's liberating. It's freeing.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Definitely need more of this as well. So thank you for being my guest. Don't go anywhere. Just hold tight. And I am Deloris Williams with Divine Connections. Make sure you all stay connected to the number one divine connector, which is Jesus Christ. And hold tight. We will go to our sponsors and we'll be back. So hold tight for me.
Hey, we've got exciting news from Divine Connections Marketing Services. Now you can create your own custom video commercial for your business or organization. It's time for you to win. Your product or service is someone's solution. So get the attention of your potential customers now. Choose from a 30 or 60-second commercial today. Just email us at divineconnectionsmagazine@gmail.com and we can get started. Connect today and let's get started making your custom video commercial now. Divine Connections Magazine. Get major exposure for your business. Is someone looking for your service? Do you need networking? Are you a gospel artist or a ministry? Do you have a major event that you want to promote? Divine Connections Magazine has the solution for you. We can distribute to residents, businesses, churches, and online. Don't miss this opportunity to expand your marketing locally and around the world. Find out more about us at divineconnectionsmagazine.com. Get your spot in the next issue of Divine Connections Magazine by emailing us for details at divineconnectionsmagazine@gmail.com.
Make sure to like us on Facebook at Divine Connections Marketing. Follow us on Instagram at Divine Connections.
Let's get it started now.